Life is something quite brittle. Many times we take for granted life in general. There are so many good memories you formed, I'm sure. So many sad memories you formed. Looking back at all these memories, most of them were fun, or at least for me. You spent time with your family, you spent time with your friends, and everything was jolly. You probably got accustomed to it. It became the norm. It became normal for you to have fun. And then all of a sudden, you got too accustomed to it, and now it's all gone. And it's pretty crazy how fast these things can go. And now you're sitting at your desk, maybe watching YouTube videos, trying to escape this loneliness that you're stuck into. So where do you go from there? You probably clicked on this video because you felt sad, maybe even empty. You tried hitting the gym. Maybe it'll make you feel better. That's what people on social media say. But you didn't get the happiness that was promised to you. And I'm just here to kind of try to explain maybe what we could do, because I'm still figuring that out on my own. How do I deal with life? Life is kind of hard at times. So my question is, what support system should I have? Because even your best friends can turn against you, right? Is there something that I can always rely on? Maybe you've been experiencing loss of friends, loss of family. Maybe those people were your strongest support system. Every time you struggled, you went to them and they were there to listen to you. I used hiking and the outdoors and probably mountains as somewhat of a support system, but now I'm in a land where there's no real mountains. So how do I deal with that? I used friends as one of my strongest support system, but now I'm away from them. Most of my friends have graduated, and where do I go from here? I'm here to try and propose something. Give you a little bit of a challenge. And maybe your parents and I don't know, your aunt or your uncle or maybe even one of your friends suggested that you start believing in their religion. It'll make everything better, they say. And maybe you've had a bad experience with that. But I'm kind of here to say that I'm working out through it. I'm working through it, and I'm trying to figure out if this is the right thing to do. And there's no way God doesn't love us. I mean, we are His creation. Most parents on earth will have some kind of affinity for their children, some kind of love. And I'm not here to say join my religion or join this religion, be a Catholic, be whatever, Baptist, all of that stuff, be a monk. I'm kind of just here to say, maybe look into it. Look into not religion, but maybe God. I mean, God in most religion would be this all-knowing individual who would understand you. So why not try to say, what's up, God? What you been up to lately? You know, and it might feel awkward a little bit, but you should give it a try. You can be rude with them, saying, God, why am I going through all these struggles? You can be sad with them. You can be happy with them. I'm sure He'll reciprocate. He'll just be glad to hear from you. And maybe this isn't real. Maybe it's just something that allows you to reflect on yourself. But even if that's the case, I dare you to give it a try. Try to have small talk with them, little conversation, say what's up. And maybe it'll make life better. Try it. I dare you.
This is a spiritual conversation.
But like you're saying, the habit anyway.
So my point was,
Priorities.
sometimes our priorities get messed up because we get too crowded with stuff, and like we get kind of, I don't know if you guys get hyper focused and stuff, but I tend to get hyper focused, and just like, oh, I'm gonna do this, 10 hours of this, 10 hours of that, and now I'm just gonna do something that's lesser, but then I just forget about something that, like stuff that is actually important and that's gonna benefit me.
Food and sleep.
Oh, that's up in my priorities. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can sleep too much. I can eat too much. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, sometimes you lose contact with people. Like, I forget to call my parents and all that. And sometimes I forget to call God. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get so busy in just the current life that you see that you forget about the unseen. Like, your parents back home, just your friends as well, or even your pet dog. Every time I came back home, I forget that I have like pets. Like, that's kind of sad. But I'd be like, yo, what's good? You know what I'm saying?
So I always forget that you have a pet too.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Manny, be honest. Have you not forgotten Josh was your friend until you came back to Berlin and you saw Josh?
You have cats like
Shoot,
right?
we and Josh were friends.
Yeah. No, so we met up and I was like, yo, what's good, dog? And then we could relate because we were both going to Berlin. So I was like, oh shoot, like now you're back in my life kind of thing. So
But yeah,
I'm blessed to be having all of you guys in my life. But the point is, how do you implement something in your routine? How do you re-implement something in your routine? Discipline, okay.
Like small increments. Let's say if
Okay.
you wanna eat or drink more water, you wanna start not like drinking 2 gallons,
Uh-huh.
because then sometimes it can backfire. But you can also start, just slowly like, okay, let's try 4 cups today. Then the next day I'll do 5, and 6. I'll do 2 liters or whatever. And I'll just keep it happen.
Okay, so let's take that example, like as a point to
Drinking water.
Yeah, drinking water. So discipline. So that would look like frequency, maybe. Is discipline frequency?
It's just making sure to remember and actually drinking it, like if we're doing water.
Doing it even if you don't want to.
Yeah, that's
Ooh, I like that.
That's it. That's it.
Okay, so relating that to God, that one specifically. Yeah, how would you relate discipline to God?
There's many distractions that can take time away from your relationship with God. Let's say when you wake up, the first thing you want to go, at least for me, is on social media. But the self-determination and the discipline to put that aside and pray first, or to read your Bible, have a devotional, I think that's a habit, but it's also discipline. Because it doesn't matter how often you get used to doing that in your routine, you can always get lazy, or always like be selfish and try to do things that you find enjoyable.
I'd be fighting demons in the morning. Like I'd be reaching for my phone, and I have like a dedicated like prayer spot under my bed. It's like mad comfy. My bed is like really high, and I don't like just praying like, you know what I'm saying? So like I'd be like, oh, I gotta get out of bed and then go under. So like discipline, it's weird because usually sometimes you can associate God with like a coping mechanism. So if I don't need Him, why should I go to Him? And that relates to like what you were saying, like going to Him even when you don't want to, or even when you don't need to.
You feel like you don't need to.
Yeah, you feel like you don't need to, because you always need Him, right?
I don't know if it's the right wording, but we're trying to label it as like being a duty for us as Christians.
On duty.
Yeah. So, like everyone said, even if you don't want to or don't see the need, I think God always has something to speak to you.
Try to have small talk with them,
Always,
little conversation, say what's up. And maybe it'll make life better. Try it. I dare you.